Welcome to Chinese history and mythology. Hongjun Laozu was burning with rage. Zhenti, you have bullied me again and again. He spurred the kuyaks and charged. Zhenti lifted the seven treasure wondrous tree and blocked with a light tap. Tongchen's sword crumbled to powder. Hongjun Laozu, shocked and furious, turned and fled with his kuyaks out of the array. Zhenti drew back his dharma body. Laozi and Yuanqi did not chase. The myriad immortals array was completely shattered. The immortals struck their bells and chimes and slowly returned to the reed pavilion. Laozi and Yuanqi saw Dingwang hiding in a corner and called out, "Aren't you Dingwang Qiang of Jijiao? Why are you hiding here?" Dingwang knelt. "Masters, I am guilty. My teacher told me to use the six-soul banner to destroy you and also Wu King Jifa and Jiangxia, but I saw that you two have the true way and a broad heart, while my own teacher clings to hate. I could not bear to do evil, so I hid the banner and ran here." Yuanqi sighed. "Good. You may be a disciple of Jijiao, but you understand the right principle." He invited him up to sit among them. The four sect masters sat together and said, with feeling, "Only today's right and wrong truly divided." Laozi had Dinghuang bring out the six-soul banner. Jian Douren said, "Why don't we try this? Remove the names of Wu King Jifa and Jiangxia first, then open the banner and see whose root and conduct shine the most." Zhenti nodded and took off those two names. Dinghuang unfolded the six-soul banner. At once, light rose above all for masters' heads. Over Yuanqi glowed a bright, auspicious cloud. Above Laozi shone a pagoda. Above the two Western teachers, Arkra flashed with brilliance. Dingwang saw this and accepted it completely. He bowed. "My own teacher has been blinded by hatred. He harms others and himself. He is truly wrong." Jian said, "You have a good route. Would you like to join my gate?" Yuanqi added, "For him to come here today already shows his heart leans toward the right. He should go to the west." Dingwang immediately touched his head to the floor and took Jian and Zhenti as his teachers. From then on, he belonged to the Western Pure Land. Tongshan Laozu gathered the few hundred disciples he had left and walked off the battlefield. They were all exhausted and frightened. They stopped beneath a mountain to rest. Tongshan Laozu sighed. "That traitor, Dingwang, he stole my six-soul banner and ruined my great plan. There is only one way left. Return and set up earth, water, fire, and wind again, and flip heaven and earth once more." The immortals around him had been lifeless a moment ago, but now their spirits rose again. They shouted, "Teacher, we'll follow you to get revenge!" Tongshan Laozu looked at the few disciples remaining and felt both grief and hatred. He thought, "My four best disciples are all dead. I might as well go to Purple Cloud Palace and see our teacher Hongjun Laozu, hear what he says, and then decide what to do next." He was just discussing this with them, not yet settled, when the southern sky lit with 10,000 auspicious rays. An old Taoist walked toward them with a bamboo staff, singing in a clear voice. "Hi, I rest on ninefold cloud. A rush mat seats my true found Tao, beyond the dark of sky and earth. I hold the post of teaching Lord. From Pangu's birth came Taiji's wheel. Two modes and four images follow in turn. One breath passed on to three close friends, and Chan and Gigi out from one gate, split. Of all the mysterious gates, bright blooms. From one pure breath I, Hongjun, rose." This Taoist was Hongjun Laozu himself. Tongshan Laozu hurried forward and knelt. "Disciple greets teacher and wishes you 10,000 years of life." Hongjun looked at him. "Why did you set up the myriad immortals array and kill so many beings?" "How do you explain that?" Tongshan quickly said, "Teacher, it was my two elder brothers who pushed me too far. They claimed they alone walked the proper way, and they kept forcing me, letting their disciples slaughter mine. I could not endure it anymore." Hongjun snorted. "You really don't know how to reflect. It was obviously you who started the killing, and you still blame others. Shameful. When I set up the investiture list, it was to test people's hearts, not to let you create more karma. Name and gain, anger and jealousy, these are mortal diseases. You've been an immortal for how many years and still drown in them. Laozi and Yuanqi never wanted to fight you. Only because you went too far did they have to respond. It is true, this is heaven's timing. but it was your own followers who broke their purity and stirred up trouble. If you add it all up, your fault is the greatest. If I hadn't come today, who knows how many more would die in your fighting." Hongjun sighed. "Today I am showing great mercy to untie your knot of hate. From now on, each of you will watch over your own disciples. You are not allowed to be enemies again." He turned to the scattered immortals around them. "You all disperse as well. Go back to your caves, cultivate well, and wait for your release." The immortals all knelt and bowed, then took their leave. Hongjun told Tongshan, "Go to the reed pavilion and tell them I am here." Tongshan had to accept, though his heart was uneasy. "After all that I've done, how can I face them?" At that moment, Neije Weihu and the others were chatting and laughing under the pavilion, recalling the battle in the myriad immortals array. Suddenly, they saw Tongshan Joyuju walking over, followed by an old Doist, wrapped in auspicious clouds. The two of them came step by step. Tongshan Joyuju shouted, "Naza, go and report. Tell Laozi and Yuanxi that teacher has come." Neija ran into the pavilion to give the news. Laozi was talking with Jian when he saw the sky full of auspicious clouds. He understood at once. "Our teacher is here." He quickly pulled Yuanxi along, and they both left the pavilion to welcome Hongjun Laozu. As soon as they saw him, they fell to their knees. "We did not know teacher would come. Forgive us for not greeting you from afar," Hongjun said. "Because your 12th generation disciples fell into a killing calamity, you two teachings ended up slaughtering each other. I came today to resolve your grievances. From now on, you each mind your own disciples and must not hurt one another again." Laozi and Yuanqi said together, "We obey teacher's command." Hongjun entered the pavilion and greeted Jian with a smile. "The Western Pure Land is truly a blessed place." Jian quickly answered, "I dare not claim such." Hongjun laughed. "You and I are of the same rank. No need to be too polite. These three are my disciples. That's how it should be." Zhenti and Jian sat to one side. Laozi and Yuanqi led their disciples to bow. Then they lined up left and right. Tongshan Joyuju stood quietly to one side, hands down, not daring to speak. Hongjun said, "You three, come forward." The three sect masters stepped up. Hongjun said, "Zhou's mandate is rising. Shang's fate is dying out. All immortals meet this calamity, so I had you set up the investiture list and sort out the roots. Those with deep roots become immortals, the next become gods, and the shallower ones fall back into mortal rebirth. I did not expect Tongshan Joyoju to trust his disciples blindly and cause such a disaster. Heaven's timing may be fixed, but you yourself indulged your disciples and broke your oath. The blame lies on you. You must accept this result." Jian and Jianti both nodded. "Teacher is right." Hongjun went on, "From today, you must all let go of your grievances. Laozi, you must yield to your younger brother. From now on, each of you keeps to your own teaching. No more killing thoughts. Your disciples' calamities are complete. Jiangzi's great work is nearly done. The world will soon be settled." Then he ordered, "You three, kneel." They knelt at once. Hongjun took a gourd from his sleeve and poured out 3 pills, one for each. "This pill is not for long life. It is a warning. If any of you raise a thought of fighting each other again, as soon as that thought appears, the pill will act and you will die at once." The 3 sect masters were so frightened they knocked their heads on the floor in unison. "Thank you for teacher's mercy." Hongjun stood, ready to leave. He said to Tongshan, "You come with me." Tongshan dared not refuse and hurried after him. Jian and Zhenti took their leave of Laozi and Yuanqi and returned to the west. Laozi and Yuanqi turned to Zhangzia. "We and our disciples must go back to our mountains. When you finish the investiture and then take time to purify yourself and cultivate, you will also be a true immortal." Jiangxia bowed to the ground. "Disciple will remember." Laozi smiled. "Remember this verse? From danger into danger you still pass through. Do not ask too much about the road ahead. 800 lords will all assemble. Wait only for the investiture's victory song." With that, Laozi and Yuanqi rode the clouds back to Jade Capital. Guangchengzi and the 12th generation disciples came up to say goodbye. "Zia, we are returning to our caves. After today, we may never meet again." Jiangxia could not bear it. He stood under the pavilion and said nothing for a long time. Lu Yadaoran clasped his hand. The road ahead still has dangers, but someone will always come to help you. Don't worry. He took out his gourd with the flying knife. This treasure is for you. You will need it later. Jiang Zia thanked him again and again. Lu Ya turned and left. At that moment, Shen Gongbo was trying to slip away. The white crane lad saw him and reported to Yuanqi. Teacher, Shen Gongbo is running. Yuanqi nodded. Good. Just in time. He once swore an oath, remember? Yuanqi ordered the yellow turban strength gods, take my 3-treasured jade Ruji and bring him back. The strength god chased him down. Shen Gongbo. Stop running. He tossed the Ruji and knocked him down. Yuanqi came to Keelan Cliff and said to Shen Gongbo, you swore before that you would go to guard the northern CI. Now it's time. Shen Gongbo sighed. I cannot escape. I accept my fate. Yuanqi ordered, roll him in the rushmat cushion and send him to the North CI to be suppressed. The strength gods did as they were told. By then, the killing karma was finished. The 3 teachings stood clearly apart, and the vast calamity of the investiture of the gods had finally come to an end. Zheng Ziya led his disciples back to Tong Pass to report to Wu King Jifa. Wu King Jifa said, Prime Minister, you finally made it back. Our troops are all here now. Let's march as soon as we can and meet up with all the lords. For me, this is a great blessing. Zheng Ziyaga gave the order for the whole army to move out toward Lintong Pass. It was only 80 li away, so they got there quickly and set up camp outside the walls. Inside Lintong Pass, the commander, Ouyang Chun, heard the report and called his deputies Bian Jinlong, Gui Tianlu, and Gongsun Duo to discuss. Ouyang Chun said, Jiangzi, Ayaze army is here. Our pass is tiny. How are we supposed to hold off the Zhou troops? The deputies said, General, tomorrow you go out and fight them first. If we can win, we keep fighting. If we can't, we pull back behind the walls and send a report to Zhaozhou City asking for reinforcements. Ouyang Chun said, You're right. We'll do it that way. The next day, Jiang Ziya took his seat in the central command tent. Wang Fei, who asked to fight. He led his own troops to the foot of the pass and called for battle. From Lintong Pass, the vanguard Bian Jilong rode out to meet him. Wang Fei, who purposely left an opening, drawing him in, then suddenly shouted and charged. With one thrust of his spear, he knocked Bihan Jinlong out of the saddle, then cut off his head and brought it back to the Zhou camp. A messenger rushed to report to the command house in Lintong Pass. Ouyang Chun was shocked. Back at Bihan Jinlong's home, his household officer ran in and told the news. His wife, Lady Shu, burst into tears. Her crying reached the back garden and startled their eldest son, BNG. BNG asked the attendants, Why is my mother crying? They told him how his father had died in battle. BNG at once put on armor and said to his mother, Mother, please don't cry. I'll go avenge father. He mounted his horse and went to the command house to ask for a battle. Ouyang Chun agreed. BNG went home, ordered men to carry out a big red wooden chest, and had it brought out of the city with him. He held a halberd with a crescent blade and led his troops outside the walls. First, he raised a tall flagpole. Then he opened the red chest and took out a battle banner, which he hung high up. The banner was 4 or 5, jung tall and swayed in the wind. On the Zhou side, Nangong Shi was sent out to fight. BNG asked, Who are you? Nangong Shi laughed. Someone as young as you, of course, wouldn't know me. I am Nangong Shi, a great general of Ziki. BNG said, Go back. I don't want to kill you. I just want Wang Fei Hu to come out. Nangong Shi got angry, spurred his horse forward, and swung his blade. BNG turned and rode away, ducking under the banner. Nangong Shi chased him. As soon as his horse stepped under the banner, horse and rider both crashed to the ground. The soldiers guarding the banner rushed up and tied Nangong Shi with ropes. BNG took him back into Lintong Pass to see Ouyang Chun. Ouyang Chun ordered the guards to shove Nangong Shi forward. Nangong Shi stood there and refused to kneel. Ouyang Chun cursed him. You are a traitor against our kingdom. You've been captured and you still won't show respect. He gave the order. Cut off his head and show it to the troops. Gongsun Duo quickly stepped in and said, General, right now Zhaozhou City is full of corrupt ministers. They keep saying that we border generals are only pretending to fight and cheating them out of pay and rations. Any battle report we send, they refuse to accept it, and they have even killed the officers who deliver memorials. In my opinion, we should not kill Nangongshi yet. Lock him up first. When we capture the main leaders of the rebels, we send them all together to Zhaoji City. Then those villains won't dare talk nonsense. Ouyang Chun nodded. You're right. I wasn't thinking. So they threw Nangongshi into prison. The next day, BNG went down to the walls again to challenge and called Wang Fei, who by name, Wang Fei, who went out with Huang Ming and Zhou Ji at his side. BNG shouted, Traitor, you killed my father. Today, I'll hack you to pieces. He thrust with his halberd, Wang Fei, who blocked with his spear. BNG pretended he could not win, turned, and rode away, ducking again under the banner. Wang Fei, who did not know what was wrong with the banner, he chased right under it, and just like Nangongshi, his vision went dark. He fell from his horse, and was seized on the spot. Huang Ming rushed up with his axe to help Wang Fei, and he was captured too. BNG wanted to cut off Wang Fei, whose head right away. Ouyang Chun stopped him. Young general, Wang Fei, who should be taken to court and executed there. That way you have your revenge, and the court also clearly sees your merit. You gain both. BNG had no choice but to hold back and step away with tears in his eyes. Zhou Ji saw Huang Ming captured as well. He did not dare go any closer and returned to camp to report to Jiang Ziya. Jiang Ziya was alarmed and very displeased. On the third day, Jiang Ziya led his generals and disciples out of the camp and finally saw the banner. It was a banner strung together from human bones. They called it the 100 Bones Banner. Black air and icy smoke seeped out of it. Every piece of white bone had red talismans painted on it. Jiang Ziya said, This is side path magic. The counter is simple. From now on, when we fight, no one is allowed to pass under that banner. Ouyang Chun came out of the pass to meet Jiang Ziya. He also avoided the banner, circling around the pole before he rode to the front lines. Jiang Ziya pointed it out to his people. Look, even their own commander refuses to walk under that banner. Everyone nodded. That's right. Jiang Ziya stepped forward. Are you the commander defending this pass? Ouyang Chun said, I am. Jiang Ziya said, Do you not know heaven's will? Of the 5 passes before this, only yours remains. Do you still want to fight? Ouyang Chun got angry. Old man, what nonsense are you talking? He turned and shouted to BNG, Go capture this old traitor for me. BNG spurred his horse and charged with his halberd. Lei Zhenzi shouted, Hold it! I'll go! He spread his 2 wings and flew forward with his golden staff. BNG took one look at Lei Zhenzi's terrifying face and pretended he could not win, backing off toward the banner. Lei Zhenzi thought, If this 100 Bones banner is so dangerous that we can't go under it, then I'll break it from above. He flapped his wings and shot into the air, swinging his staff down at the top of the banner. The moment the staff hit, the banner spewed out a wave of demonic energy. Lei Zhenzi was slammed by the evil wind, thrown to the ground, and knocked unconscious. The guards on both sides of the banner rushed in and tied him up. Wei Hu was furious and quickly hurled his demon-subduing club at the banner. But as soon as the club left his hand, the 100 Bones banner sucked it in, and it would not fly back. Wei Hu was stunned. The disciples all looked at each other, at a loss. BNG rode to the front and shouted, Jiang Ziya, get off your beast and surrender. I might spare your life. Naza heard this and was enraged. He stepped onto his wind and fire wheels, grew 4 heads and 8 arms, and roared, Insolent brat, take this. He charged with his fire golden spear. BNG was shocked at the sight. After only a few moves, Naza flung out the sky-shaking arrow. It almost knocked Bihenja clean off his horse. Bihenja quickly retreated into the city. At that moment, Li Jing spurred his horse forward with his halberd raised. Gui Tianlu, who was standing beside Ouyang Chen, came out to meet him. They had barely fought a few rounds before Li Jing's halberd knocked Gui Tianlu out of the saddle. Ouyang Chen, enraged, grabbed his great axe and charged at Li Jing. Jiang Ziya ordered the war drums to pound. From behind, Xin Jia, Xin Mian, the 4 worthies, Mao Gongsui, Zhou Gongdan, Xiao Gongxi, and many other Zhou generals all charged out from both flanks and surrounded Ouyang Chen in the middle. Zhou Ji, Long Wan, and Wu Qian also rushed up to help. They attacked Ouyang Chen from all sides. His helmet was knocked crooked, his armor was bent, his whole body dripping with sweat. He knew he could not hold out. He jerked his horse away, broke through the circle, and fled back into the pass. He saw that Behanji was wounded and told him to go home to rest. He had Lei Zhenzi thrown into prison, then wrote a desperate memorial and sent a messenger riding through the night to Zhaozi City to beg for reinforcements. The battle at Lintong Pass shook the sky with the thunder of zhou drums, but that 100 Bones banner tripped him again and again. Wang Feihu, Wang Ming, and Lei Zhenzi were all captured. Wei Hu's demon-subduing club vanished into the banner. Zhang Ziya had broken 10 arrays and shattered the myriad immortals formation, but in front of this small pass, for the moment he had no way out. Night fell. Small fires burned here and there in the Zhou camp. In the command tent, Zhang Ziya sat in silence. Naza, Li Jing, Yang Jian, and the others all wore troubled faces. Outside, the wind howled past the tents, still carrying that cold, ghostly breath from the banner. No one slept that night. Zhang Ziya stroked his white beard and stared at the dim stars. In his heart, he thought, what kind of evil magic is bound into that banner? How can we rescue Lei Zhenzi and Wang Fei, who? And once Ouyang Chen's plea for help reaches Zhaogi City, what sort of reinforcements will King Zhou of Shang send? Spring was almost over, and summer had just begun. The courier hurried along the road. The sky grew bright very early. The air was cool and fresh, and lotus leaves had already spread across the ponds. Plums ripened after the rain. Wheat swayed in the wind. Grass grew again where flowers had fallen. Old yellow orioles on the willow branches sang in low, gentle voices. Swallows by the river taught their young to fly. Wild pheasants in the hills fed their chicks. The sun hung long in the sky, and everything under its light looked full of life. The courier pushed on day and night without stopping. In less than a day, he reached Zhaoji City and delivered the memorial into the documents office. That day, it happened to be the middle grand officer Ile who was on duty reading reports. He was just looking through them when Wei Ziyi walked in. Ile handed him Ouyang Chen's memorial. Wei Ziyi read it and was shocked. Jiang Shang's army has already fought its way to Lintong Pass, he said. Yet His Majesty still drinks without a care in the world. He immediately held the memorial in his arms and went to see King Zhou of Shang. At that moment, King Zhou of Shang was sitting up on Dia Terrace, drinking and making merry with Dag and the other women. Wei Ziyi went up the terrace and bowed. King Zhou of Shang asked, Elder brother, what matter brings you? Wei Ziyi said, Zhang Shang has rebelled. He has already reached Lintong Pass. He finished speaking and offered up the memorial. King Zhou of Shang read it and was greatly startled. So this is it, he said. I have raised a tiger that now turns to bite me. I should have dealt with him long ago. He immediately ordered court to be held. The attendants brought forward the dragon chariot and phoenix carriage. King Zhou of Shang sat upon it and went to the golden throne hall. The officers in charge of the hall and the gold guard generals struck the bells and drums. All the officials rushed up to attend. King Zhou of Shang had not personally held court in many years. Now that he took the throne that day, the officials all straightened up and grew serious. When the officials had finished their bows, King Zhou of Shang said, Jiang Shang has defied his ruler and attacked our passes. He is already at Lintong Pass. Which of you has a plan? On the left, the senior grand officer Li Tong stepped out. Your Majesty, he said, the chaos in the world today is not the fault of others. It is your own fault. You have not cared about affairs of state. You listen to petty men, push aside loyal ministers, drown yourself in wine and women, and do not look to government. The people resent you. The world is in turmoil. Today, your Majesty comes to court. I fear it may already be late. Here in Zhaozhe, there are no capable and loyal ministers left. You never valued them, so they no longer give you their hearts. Now in the east, Jiang Wenhuan is attacking Yuan Pass. In the south, Yishan is attacking Three Mountain Pass. In the north, Changhehu is attacking Chantong Pass. In the west, Jifa is attacking Lintong Pass. We are at war on all four sides. A great building is about to collapse. How can a single beam hold it up? Today, I risk death to speak plainly. I hope your Majesty will change your ways. Perhaps there is still a chance to save things. I recommend 2 generals to go to Lintong Pass and block the Zhou army. King Zhou of Shang asked, "Whom do you propose?" Li Tong replied, "Deng Kun and Rui Ji." King Zhou of Shang agreed and summoned the 2 men to court. They came quickly. The king bestowed on them the yellow axe and white yak-tail banner, signs a command, and said, "Reward each of you with a full table of feast dishes." The 2 generals bowed and thanked him. Soon the attendants set out the feast. Wei Zi and Gzi also raised their cups to them and said, "Generals, this campaign is tied to the fate of the whole state. You must be careful. Our country is relying on you." Deng Kun and Rui Ji replied, "Your Highnesses may rest easy. We will surely give our lives in loyal service and not fail the hopes of His Majesty and the officials." After the drinking, they took their leave. Early the next morning, they set out, crossed the Yellow River at Menjian, and headed toward Lintong Pass. Back at Lintong Pass, Tu Xing-sun was in charge of escorting grain to the front. As he passed by the main gate of the camp, he saw a great banner standing there. Under the banner lay Wei Hu's dimazubduing cudgel and Lei Zhenzi's golden staff. He thought it strange and went to ask Zhang Ziya. Zhang Ziya told him this was Bianji's 100-bone banner and explained what had happened earlier. Neijie also stood by and confirmed it. Tu Xing-sun did not believe it. How could there be something so wicked? He said. He insisted on going to see it himself. It was already getting dark. Everyone tried to talk him out of it, but he would not listen. Tu Xing-sun walked straight under the banner. As soon as he stepped beneath it, he fell over and passed out cold. The patrolling soldiers of the Zhou camp discovered him and reported to Zhang Ziya. Zhang Ziya was very shocked. The soldiers on the wall also saw a short fellow lying under the banner and reported to Ouyang Chen. Ouyang Chen said, "Drag him in." A few soldiers went under the banner to seize the man, and one by one, they too fell over unconscious. Ouyang Chen slapped his own forehead. "I forgot, only Bianji's own men can go under that banner." At that time, Bianji was at home recovering from his wounds and was almost healed. Ouyang Chen sent to call him. Bianji ordered his household guards. "Bring that short fellow in," pulled the others out from under the banner. The guards did as he said. The moment they dragged the fallen soldiers out from under the banner, those men woke up. They carried Tu Xing-sun into the city. Ouyang Chen asked him, "Who are you?" Tu Xing-sun said, "I am not a bad man. I just saw a shiny staff under the banner. I thought it looked nice and wanted to take it back to play with. Then, somehow, I fell asleep." Bianji shouted. "Nonsense! Clearly you are no good man." Then he ordered the soldiers, "Behead him." The soldiers dragged Tu Xing-sun to the front gate. Just as one of them raised his knife, Tu Xing-sun twisted his body and vanished. The soldier ran back to report. Ouyang Chen said, "Bad news. That must have been Tu Xing-sun himself." Tu Xing-sun returned to the Zhou camp and reported to Zhang Ziya. "It really is powerful," he said. Neijie laughed. "So now you believe it?" Tu Xing-sun nodded. "I believe it. I believe it." The next day, Bianji came out of the pass to issue a challenge. Neijie rode out of the Zhou camp to meet him. When Bianji saw his enemy, he said nothing. He raised his halberd and charged straight at Neijie. Neijie raised his spear to strike back. Bianji feared Neijie's power, so he pulled his horse around and fled toward the banner. Neijie was born from a lotus body and had no mortal soul, so the banner had no effect on him. Even so, he worried something strange might happen, so he turned back and returned to camp. Bianji froze. He could not think of any plan. Just then, a scout galloped in to report. Deng Kun and Rui Ji, the 2 marquises, have arrived under imperial command to assist in defending the pass. The commanding general is asked to receive them. When Ouyang Chen heard this, he immediately went with the other officers to welcome them out of the governor's residence. The 2 marquises dismounted, entered the silver peace hall, saluted, and took their seats. Deng Kun asked, "We are here by the Son of Heaven's command to help hold this pass. How have the battles gone these past days?" Ouyang Chen replied, "In the first battle, Vice General Bian Jinlong was killed. Luckily, his son, Bianji, has a ghostly 100-bone banner. Thanks to this banner, he has captured Nongangshi and also captured Huang Fei, Hu, Huang Ming, and Lei Zhenzi. Deng Kun asked at once. Wang Fei who? You mean the same Wang Fei who fought his way out through 5 passes? Zheng Chen said. The very same. Deng Kun's face changed. He let out a cold laugh. So you caught him? That truly is a great achievement. Yang Chen did not notice the change in his tone and only smiled modestly. He did not know that Deng Kun was actually Wang Fei, whose second aunt's husband. After the drinking, Deng Kun returned to his quarters. That night, he lay awake, thinking over and over, not knowing what to do. The next day, the 2 marquises went to the hall again. Ruiji said, "We have been sent to reinforce this pass. We should go out of the pass and face the enemy in open battle, and settle win or lose as soon as possible." Yang Chen said, "You are right." So he led the troops out of the pass. Once outside, they saw the 100-bone banner standing high in the center of the road. From horseback, BNG said, "Marquises, please have the troops go around on the left side. They must not pass under the banner." The army swung to the left and marched forward until they reached the Zhou camp. They sent a messenger ahead to shout, "Let Wu Qingji, Fa, and Jiang Ziya come out and speak." The messenger came back with a report. Jiang Ziya brought Wu Qingji Fa out of camp. From their saddles, Deng Kun and Ruiji saw Jiang Ziya take the field. They saw the Zhou army drawn up in neat ranks, its momentum fierce and strong. Wu Qingji Fa sat on horseback under a red canopy, dignified and upright, with the 4 worthies and 8 handsome men standing on both sides. From horseback, Deng Kun and Ruiji called, "Are you Wu Qingji Fa and Jiang Ziya?" Jiang Ziya answered, "We are." "Who are you two?" Deng Kun and Ruiji said, "We are Deng Kun and Ruiji. You have dared claim kingly title without permission. You shelter rebels, resist the mandate of heaven, and have slaughtered imperial soldiers. Your crimes are beyond forgiveness. Now you even march on us with a great army. What is it you want?" Jiang Ziya laughed and said, "Honored marquises, you only know the old sayings, but do not understand heaven's will. The mandate of heaven is not fixed. Whoever has virtue will hold it. King Zhou of Shang has no virtue. Heaven is angry and the people are resentful. Our Zhou has virtue and acts according to heaven's command, so the vassal lords of the world come to join us. Why are you still lost in confusion? I urge you to wake up soon and surrender to the Zhou army. If you are willing to submit, I can also grant you marquis titles under Zhou." When Deng Kun heard this, he flew into a rage. He turned to Bianji. "Seize this old man for me." Bianji raised his halberd and charged. Xiao Sheng rushed out with twin sabers to block him. As they fought, Ruiji raised his sword and also charged forward. Sun Yanhong rode in with his battle axe to meet him. Wuji spurred his horse into the fight. Neja stepped onto his wind and fire wheels, changed into his form with 4 heads and 8 arms, and rushed into the ranks, unstoppable. Deng Kun saw how terrifying Najie looked and was badly frightened. He quickly turned his horse and ordered, "Sound the gong and retreat." Deng Kun went back into the city and sat down in the main hall. He said to Yang Chen, "Zhang Ziagya has a lot of followers from the 3 mountains and 5 peaks. They all practice magic. It is very hard for us to win against them." Yang Chen said, "That is exactly why I wrote a memorial asking for help." The 2 of them sighed. There was nothing more to say. That night, Deng Kun drank alone. He thought for a long time and kept sighing. Ruiji was the same. He also sat by himself drinking dull wine, thinking and sighing. The next morning, Deng Kun and Ruiji went to the hall together. Deng Kun said, "We do not have many soldiers or generals inside the city. Yesterday, when we faced the Zhou, most of the people helping Zheng Ziaga were using magic. The affairs of the state are in real danger. What should we do now?" BNG said, "If a kingdom is meant to rise, heroes will appear to help it. This is not decided by how many people you have at one moment." Deng Kun said, "You are right, but right now we cannot hold this pass. What should we actually do?" BNG said, "I set up that banner outside the city. It is still blocking the Zhou army. Jiang Ziya and his people cannot get through. Deng Kun said, couldn't they just walk around it? Listening to this, Ruiji thought to himself, Deng Kun already has the idea of going over to Zhou. That night, they each drank a few more cups and then went their separate ways. Deng Kun quietly sent a trusted servant to invite Ruiji to come drink again. Ruiji understood at once what he meant and came gladly. The two of them met in a secret room. A servant lit the candles. They sat facing each other, each raising a cup. Both wanted to say what was in their hearts, but could not find the words at first, so they just drank. Then Deng Kun sent the servants away. He smiled at Ruiji and said, Brother, let me ask you a joking question. In the future, will the Zhou be strong, or will the Shang be strong? We are talking in private. No third person will hear. Let us speak honestly. Ruiji smiled and said, It is hard for me to say. Deng Kun said, Even though we do not share a surname, our feelings are like real brothers. Whatever you say will go into my ears and rot in my stomach. You do not need to worry. Ruiji said, Since we are close friends talking about the fate of the country, if we do not speak clearly, how can we make big decisions and prove that we understand the times and have courage? In my opinion, sooner or later the world will belong to Zhou. Right now we are here guarding this pass under the king's order, but what we are doing goes against heaven's will and the people's hearts. This cannot last long. We have received favor from the state, so we can only repay it with our lives. Deng Kun said, Your words show that you see far and clearly. It is a pity. The time we live in is wrong. When the Zhou army takes Zhouge City, you and I will probably both die for nothing. My death does not matter. What pains me is that you will not be able to do what the ancients said. A talented man should choose the right tree to perch in. A worthy minister should serve a wise ruler. You will not be able to use your talent in the right place. I feel sorry for you. Ruiji laughed and said, From what I see, you already thought about going over to Zhou. Tonight, you are here to test me. I have also had this thought for a long time. If you go to Zhou, I am willing to follow you. Deng Kun was delighted. He stood up and patted Ruiji on the shoulder. It is not that I want to betray the Shang. I just want to follow heaven's will and the hearts of the people. Throwing away our lives for nothing does no good. If we are to stand together, we can do many things. The problem is, even if we want to join Zhou, we do not have a way to connect with them right now. What can we do? Ruiji said, We can only keep thinking and wait for a chance. The two of them were worried and kept drinking. Right then, a man suddenly came up from underground. They were so shocked, they dropped their cups on the floor. The man stepped forward and said, No need to be afraid, my lords. If you want to join Wu King Jifa, I can be your go-between. Only after a long moment did the two lords calm down. The one who appeared was Tu Shang's son. He said, My lords, do not panic. I am the grain officer under General Jiang. My name is Tu Shang's son. When they heard this, they relaxed. They asked him, General, how did you arrive here in the middle of the night? Tu Shang's son said, General Jiang sent me with orders to sneak into the city to gather information and see if there is any way to rescue our captured generals. Just now I was underground and happened to hear you two talking about going over to Zhou, but not knowing how. I can build the bridge for you. The two lords were overjoyed and quickly bowed. We did not know a general had arrived. We failed to welcome you and hope you will not blame us. Tu Shang's son smiled. Looking like this, how could you have welcomed me in advance? Deng Kun took his arm and said, Wu King Jifa is kind and wise. That is why he has talents like you working for him. Yesterday on the field, I saw that Wu King and General Jiang are both men of virtue. The world will soon belong to Zhou. I also wanted to make this move early. I never thought you were right under our feet. That is perfect. Tu Shang's son laughed. Then please write a letter right now, my lords. I will bring it back to General Jiang. You find a good chance and hand the city over. Deng Kun nodded again and again. He went to the lamp and wrote a letter at once, then handed it to Tu Shang's son. Tu Shang's son tucked it away, his body blurred, and he was gone. The two lords stared, stunned. Deng Kun sighed. You see, if someone like that came at night to take our heads, we would have no way to defend ourselves. Tu Shang's son returned to the Zhou camp. Jiang Ziya had not yet gone to rest. Tu Shang's son reported everything. Jiang Ziya read the letter and was very pleased. This is a blessing for Wu King Jifa. The next day, the two lords sat in the hall, and the officers came to pay respect. Deng Kun said, "We were ordered to guard this pass. Yesterday we fought the Zhou, but did not settle the outcome. Staying in the city and hiding behind the walls is not the way a real general should act. Today we will put our troops in order. Tomorrow we must go out and fight a proper battle, beat back the Zhou army, bring peace to the land, calm the people, and return to the capital to report. That is my wish." Ouyang Chen said, "The Lord speaks well." That day they began to put the army in order. The next day, Deng Kun counted the troops. After the cannon sounded, the army marched out of the city. Deng Kun saw the ghostly 100 Bones banner standing in the middle of the road. He had a plan in mind and wanted to use the banner as part of it. He ordered BNG, "Take down that banner." BNG was shocked. "My lord, this banner is a very important treasure. It is only thanks to it that we have blocked the Zhou army. If we take it down, we will not be able to hold Lintang Pass." Ruiji said, "You are talking nonsense. Are you saying the tens of thousands of troops in the city are nothing? Besides, the Zhou army could still walk around it. Also, I am the imperial envoy sent by the Son of Heaven. If I go around on a side road and you, a deputy, march proudly on the main road, what will the Zhou army think when they see it? Take the banner down at once." BNG thought, "If we take the banner down, we may lose the battle. If we do not, he is the main commander. If I disobey, I may not live. Then how will I avenge my father?" He said, "We do not need to take the banner down. Please, my lords, go back to the city first. I have a way to let you go in and out under the banner without trouble." The two lords returned to the city. BNG quickly drew 3 talismans. Deng Kun and Ruiji each took one and tucked it into their headscarves. He gave the third one to Ouyang Chen, who put it in his helmet. They went out again and, sure enough, could walk under the banner freely. The two lords were very pleased. They rode to the front of the Zhou camp and shouted to the officer in charge, "Ask your commander to come out and talk." Jiang Ziya came out with his generals. Deng Kun shouted, "Jiang Zida, today we settled this once and for all." He spurred his horse and charged toward the central banner. Behind Jiang Ziya, Wang Feibo and Wang Feibo rode out together and met Deng Kun and Ruiji in battle. The 4 men fought fiercely on horseback. BNG yelled, "Let me help you." Wu Ji rode out to meet him. BNG pulled his horse back and retreated toward the banner, and Wu Ji did not chase him. Seeing that only Deng Kun and Wang Feibo were still locked in battle, Jiang Ziya ordered the gong to be struck, and both sides pulled back to their camps. At the first watch of the night, Tu Xing's son slipped into the city and went to the private room of the two lords. He said, "My lords, during the battle today, General Jiang saw that you could also go back and forth under the banner, so he sent me to ask about it." The two lords were delighted. "We were just waiting for you. The banner is called the Ghostly 100 Bones Banner. Until now, there really was no other way to break it. Today, we cornered BNG, so he drew talismans for us. With them on our heads, we can walk freely under the banner. Take these talismans back to General Jiang. Tell him to bring out the army quickly. I already have a plan for handing over the city gate." Tu Xing's son returned to the main camp and told Jiang Ziya everything. Jiang Ziya was very glad. He took the talismans and looked closely. He could tell what kind of talisman they were. He used cinnabar to copy many more and handed them out to his generals. Jiang Ziya said, "Hide these in your helmets, or tuck them into your hair. Tomorrow we fight again. When BNG pretends to lose and retreats under the banner, you follow him right in, uproot the banner, and then go straight for the city gate." The next day, Jiang Ziya led a large force out of the camp. Deng Kun and Ruiji ordered BNG to go out and fight. BNG obeyed and rode from the gate, not knowing that disaster was coming. He rode straight at Jiang Ziya with his halberd raised. The generals on Jiang Ziya's left and right all charged at once and surrounded him. Drums thundered. Shouts filled the field. BNG found a gap, jumped out of the circle, and fled toward the banner. The Zhou generals chased after him. BNG turned his horse and shouted to his own men, telling them to get ready to grab whoever came under the banner. But when several Zhou generals reached the banner, they did not fall. They rode right through. BNG was terrified. What is happening? Has the treasure lost its power? It must mean the Shang dynasty's fate is truly over. He did not dare fight anymore and ran back to the city. The Zhou generals pulled up the 100 Bones banner. Wei Hu took back his Demon Sibuing Club. Lei Zhenzi took his golden staff. The whole army returned to camp. BNG came back into the city and went to see Deng Kun and Rui Ji. Rui Ji asked him on purpose, "So, how many Zhou generals did you capture today, General Biang?" BNG told them what had happened. Rui Ji smiled. "You captured 3 Zhou generals in a row before? The 100 Bones banner always worked. How come today it suddenly stopped working?" Deng Kun nodded. "I do not think this is a small matter. I think BNG saw that the Zhou army has many troops and many generals, while our city has too few men and cannot be held, so he secretly made a deal with the Zhou camp. He lost the fight on purpose, so the Zhou army could rush in. Lucky for us, the gate guards shut the gate quickly, or the Zhou soldiers would already be inside. A man like this will cause a big disaster sooner or later if we let him live." When he finished, he told the axemen on both sides, "Seize him and cut off his head. Hang it up as a warning." BNG was grabbed and executed on the spot. Ouyang Chun did not understand what had really happened. He was frightened when he saw BNG beheaded. Deng Kun and Rui Ji said to him, "Let us be honest. The Shang's fate is already finished. All the lords under heaven have already gone over to Zhou. Our little pass cannot block a great army. You should join us and hand over the city. Those who follow heavens will prosper. Those who go against it fail. There is no meaning in throwing your life away." Ouyang Chun was shocked and angry. "You two have no sense of shame. I thought you came to defend the pass. Turns out you came to hand it over. I treated you with such respect, and now BNG has died at your hands. You are faithless and unjust." He drew his sword and rushed at them. The 2 lords also drew their swords and fought back. 1 against 2, Ouyang Chun was not their match. Rui Ji cut him down with 1 stroke and killed him on the spot. The 2 lords then went to the prison and freed the 3 Zhou generals. Wang Fei, who went up into the hall. When he saw that Deng Kun was his uncle by marriage, the 2 of them were very happy and spoke openly with each other. Rui Ji ordered, opened the city gates at once. They first sent the 3 Zhou generals back to the Zhou camp with the news. When the 3 arrived at Central Command, Jiang Ziya was overjoyed and asked them for all the details. Soon the herald came again and reported, "Deng Kun and Rui Ji are waiting at the city gate for orders." Jiang Ziya ordered, "Invite them in." The 2 lords came to the central tent. Jiang Ziya stepped down from the main seat to welcome them. They knelt. Jiang Ziya raised them up and said, "By coming over to Zhou today, you have done what wise ministers do when they choose a true ruler. You have done the right thing." The 2 lords said, "Please, General, enter the city and calm the people." Jiang Ziya gave the order to urge the army forward into the city. Wu King Jifa also set out and went with them. The troops shouted with joy. Wu King went into the main residence and checked the household records. He ordered a great feast to be laid in front of the hall, to treat all the Eastern campaign generals and reward the whole army. A few days later, Jiang Ziya gave the order. The whole army will move out. Our next stop is Mianchi County. The Zhou army reached Mianchi County in just a few days and set up a big camp outside the city. The general in charge inside the city was called Zhang Kui. When he heard that the Zhou army had arrived, he went straight to the command hall, the place where the general handled all military affairs. His 2 vanguard officers, Wang Zuo and Zhen Chen, came in to see him. Zhang Kui said, "The Zhou army has already broken through 5 passes in a row. Now there is only the Yellow River between them and the capital, Shaogei City. It is lucky that I am guarding here. I can at least hold them up for a while." Over on the Zhou side, Jiang Ziya was holding council in the central command tent when someone came to report a messenger from East Marquis Jiang Wenhan has arrived with a letter. Jiang Ziya opened the letter, read it, and said to the officers beside him, "East Marquis Jiang Wenhan is asking us to send troops to help him. We have to send reinforcements." Wang Feihu said, "All the lords under heaven are watching us. We cannot just stand by and do nothing. Marshal, you should send troops to his aid so the other lords can feel at ease." Jiang Ziya nodded and asked, "Who will go to Yuan Pass?" Jinza and Muza stepped forward and asked for the job. Jiang Ziya gave them a detachment of troops and sent them off at once to support Yuan Pass. Then Jiang Ziya asked again, who will attack Mianxi County and win the first merit here? Nangong, she agreed to go. He took the order, left camp, and rode up to the city to challenge. On Zhang Kui's side, Wang Zuo rode out to face him. The two fought for 20 to 30 rounds. Nangong, she swung his blade once and cut Wang Zuo in half. The next day, Wang Fei, who went out to fight, Zhang Kui sent Zhen Qin to meet him. They fought 20 rounds. Wang Fei, who thrust once with his spear and knocked Zhen Chen off his horse with a single strike. Seeing that in 2 days they had already killed 2 enemy officers, Zhang Ziya ordered all the troops on the left and right wings to attack the city together. On the city wall, the soldiers rushed to report to Zhang Kui. Zhang Kui was in the back hall, discussing things with his wife, Lady Gao Leining. Zhang Kui said, "This lonely city is hard to hold. We have just lost 2 officers in a row. What should we do?" Gao Leining said, "General, you can use magic, and you have a powerful mount to help you. There is no need to be afraid of the Zhou army." Zhang Kui said, "You don't understand. All those heroes at the last 5 passes together could not stop the Zhou army. The fact that they have fought their way here already shows heaven's will very clearly. On top of that, our Lord is still lost in pleasure. How can we ministers really feel at ease?" Before he could finish speaking, another urgent report came. The Zhou army is attacking the city very hard. Zhang Kui put on his armor and got on his horse. His wife followed him to the front to help. The city gates were opened and he charged out in the lead. On Zhang Ziyaga's side, the generals split to left and right. Zhang Kui shouted, "Marshal Jiang, slow down a moment." Jiang Ziya rode forward and said, "General Zhang, do you not understand heaven's will yet? Surrender quickly. If you surrender, you can still serve as an official under our Zhou. If you refuse to turn back, just look at what happened to the commanders of the 5 passes before you." Zhang Kui laughed and said, "You go against the Son of Heaven and dare to bully your ruler. And still, you talk about heaven's will. You have only made it here by luck. Today you will die here under my blade." Jiang Ziya laughed as well. No need for empty words. Look at the state of the world. From here to Zhage City is only a few hundred li, and the Yellow River is all that stands between. Lords from all 4 directions have come to help us. Your little city, if I'd throw my horsewhip into it, the whole place would feel crowded. What do you have to fight with? A big house that is about to collapse cannot be held up by a single beam. You are just looking for death." Zhang Kui was furious. He drove his horse forward with his great saber raised and went straight for Jiang Ziya. 2 Zhou princes, Ji Shuming and Ji Shuxing, shouted, "We will go." They both lowered their long spears and rode forward to meet Zhang Kui's big saber. The 2 princes fought for a while and then pretended they could not hold on. They turned their horses as if retreating, planning to spin around and stab Zhang Kui with a surprise strike. What they did not know was that Zhang Kui's mount was called the One-Horned Black Smoke Beast. It had 1 horn on its head and ran as fast and strange as a rolling cloud of black smoke. Zhang Kui let the 2 princes run 3 or 4 arrow flights ahead, then slapped the horn of his mount. The black smoke beast shot forward like a gale. Ji Shuming thought his trick had worked and was just about to turn back when Zhang Kui had already caught up. 1 slash of the saber knocked him off his horse. Ji Shuxing saw his elder brother fall. His heart went cold and his mind went blank. Zhang Kui followed with another cut and chopped him in 2 as well. The 2 princes died on the field. Jiang Ziya was shocked and quickly ordered the gong to be struck to call the troops back. Zhang Kui also returned to the city. Back in camp, Jiang Ziya was heavy with grief. When Wu King Jifa heard that his 2 younger brothers were dead, he covered his face and wept. The next day, Jiang Ziya sat in his tent, depressed, and said to the generals, "Mianxi is only a small county, and yet we lost 2 princes here." The generals all said, "The main problem is that Zhang Kui's mount is too fast, and the princes were not prepared for it." At that moment, someone came to report. North Marquis Chang Haihu is at the main gate of the camp, asking to see the marshal. Jiang Ziya ordered him to be brought in. Chang Haihu came in with 3 officers, Wen Pin, Kui Ying, and Jiang Zhang, and they all bowed. Jiang Ziya stepped down from the main seat to welcome them and invited them to come up into the tent. He asked, "How long have you been camped at Menjian, Lord Cheng?" Chang Haihu said, After I raised my troops and took Chentang Pass, I set up camp at Mingyan. It has already been a few months. When I heard that Marshall had reached Mianxi, I came here at once to pay my respects, and I hope you will soon join up with all the lords and march together against the cruel king." Jiang Ziya was very pleased. Wang Fei, who met Cheng Heihu and thanked him. "Back then, thanks to you, we were able to capture and behead Gao Zhenan for my son. I have never forgotten it." Zhang Ziya ordered wine to be set out to welcome Cheng Heihu and his men. The next day, Zhang Kui came out of the city to challenge. Cheng Heihu said, "I arrived on the field only yesterday. Today, I should do my best and go out to fight." Wen Pin, Kui Ying, and Jiang Zhong all wanted to go as well. Jiang Ziya agreed. The 4 generals rode out and formed their lines. Cheng Heihu, riding his gold-eyed beast and holding his pair of axes, shouted at the front, "Zhang Kui, heaven's troops are here. Why don't you surrender?" Zhang Kui cursed back, "Beast! You killed your own brother and stole his position. You are unkind and unjust, and you dare shout at me." Cheng Heihu was enraged and swung his axes. When Pin raised his 3-pronged spear, Kui Ying swung his 8-sided hammer, and Jiang Zhong threw his clawed rope. All 4 attacked at once and surrounded Zhang Kui. Zhang Ziya saw Wang Feihu watching from the side and said, "General Wang, today Lord Cheng is risking his life. Go closer to support him. In the past, Lord Cheng avenged your son for you." Wang Feihu took the order and left camp. As he watched the fight, he thought, "With a battle like this going on, I cannot just circle around on the edge. I have to join in." He rode his 5-colored divine ox forward and shouted, "Lord Cheng, I am here." Now 5 generals surrounded Zhang Kui. Cheng Heihu's axes chopped up and down without stopping. When Pin's spear stabbed left and right, Kui Ying's heavy hammer fell like a shooting star. Jiang Zhong's clawed rope whipped through the air like flying iron spikes. Wang Fei, whose long spear struck like a sudden snake. Zhang Kui stood alone against the 5 of them, like a fierce tiger twisting to meet a pack of hunters. They fought 3 or 4 dozen rounds, but still could not bring Zhang Kui down. Cheng Heihu pulled his horse out of the circle, pretending to flee. He was getting ready to open his gourd and release his divine eagle. The other 3 officers understood and also pulled back with him. Zhang Kui laughed coldly and slapped the horn of his mount. The one-horned black smoke beast rushed forward, caught up to Wen Pin in a flash, and Zhang Kui cut him down with one blow. Cheng Heihu hurried to lift the lid of his gourd to release the eagle, but he was too late. Zhang Kui was already upon him and sliced him into 2 pieces with one swing. Kui Ying turned his horse and kept fighting as best he could. Zhang Kui battled the 3 remaining officers with his blade. Just then, a peach blossom-colored horse galloped up. Gao Leining had arrived. She drew her son and Moon twin sabers and joined the fight on Zhang Kui's side. After only a few rounds, Gao Leining hung both sabers back on her saddle, took out a red gourd, and released 49 golden sun needles. They shot straight toward the 3 officers' eyes. They instinctively raised their hands to block. Zhang Kui seized the chance and struck 3 times in a row, chopping down Kui Ying, Zhang Zhong, and Wang Fei, who one after another. All 5 Zhou generals died in this battle. In camp, Zhang Ziya was stunned. How did we lose 5 generals all at once? The officer who had been watching at the edge of the field said Zhang Kui's mount is far too fast, and they could not defend against it. After losing 5 more generals in a row, Zhang Ziya was deeply grieved. He was still thinking about what to do when someone came to report. Yang Jian has arrived at the main gate with the grain trains and is waiting for orders. Zhang Ziya had him brought in. Yang Jian came into Central Command and said, "I have escorted the army's grain through the 5 passes. Now I return the grain officer's seal, and I am willing to join the main force and fight in battle to earn military merit." Zhang Ziya said, "We will soon need to meet all the lords at Mingyan. I also need you in Central Command to help me." He then told Yang Jian everything about how Zhang Kui had killed 5 generals in succession. Yang Jian asked Neja, "If Zhang Kui's mount is so fast, why didn't you go out and deal with him?" Naja said, "Lord Cheng was determined to win merit, so I let him go first. I never thought it would end like this." As they were speaking, a report came. Zhang Kui has come out of the city again to challenge. Wang Feibao wanted to avenge his elder brother Wang Feihu and rode out to fight. Yang Jian followed along the edge of the field. As soon as Wang Feibo met Zhang Kui cut him off his horse with a single stroke. Yang Jian watched closely from the side. He saw Zhang Kui kill Wang Feibo, and he also clearly saw that Zhang Kui's mount had a horn on its head. Yang Jian shouted, "Zhang Kui, do not run. I will fight you." The two of them fought for 20 to 30 rounds. Yang Jian deliberately left an opening and let Zhang Kui rush in. Zhang Kui grabbed Yang Jian's belt, lifted him across the saddle, and carried him alive back into the city. Zhang Kui ordered, "Take him out and cut off his head to show the troops." The guards obeyed, chopped off Yang Jian's head, and hung it up as a warning. After a while, the stable master rushed in with an urgent report. "My lord, something terrible has happened." Zhang Kui asked, "What is it?" The stable master said, "Your mount was fine just now. Suddenly, its head fell off." Zhang Kui was shocked and did not know what to think. At that moment, another report came. "The Zhou general who was just beheaded is back under the city, calling you to battle." Only then did Zhang Kui understand. "I have fallen into Yang Jian's trick." He changed horses and rode out of the city. When he saw Yang Jian, he cursed, "Traitor, what evil magic did you use? You killed my mount." "I am furious." Yang Jian laughed and said, "You relied on your mount to kill my Zhou generals? So I killed your mount first, and now I have come for you." Zhang Kui gritted his teeth and said, "Do not run. Take my blade." They fought another 20 rounds. Yang Jian again deliberately gave him an opening. Zhang Kui once more grabbed Yang Jian's belt, lifted him across the saddle, and took him back to the city. Zhang Kui was boiling with anger and could not think how to kill him. He went to ask his wife, Gao Leining. Gao Leining took one look and laughed. "It is simple. Take the blood of a black hen and the blood of a black dog, mix them together with urine and filth. First run an iron spike through his shoulder bones, then pour that filthy blood and waste over his head, and press him down with a spell. After that you can cut off his head." The husband and wife came to the front hall and watched as the guards did exactly what she said. Gao Leining poured the bloody filth over Yang Jian's head and pressed a talisman on him. Then she raised her blade and chopped. Yang Jian's head really did fall off again. The two of them were overjoyed and went back into the main hall. A maid from the back courtyard came in crying and reported, "It is bad, my lord." The old madam was in the incense room. Suddenly, a splash of filthy blood and waste came flying from nowhere and drenched her head. Her head fell off on the spot. Zhang Kui cried out, "I have fallen into Yang Jian's magic again." He burst into tears and thought to himself, "Yang Jian is too vicious. A battle is public business. It should not drag in family members. Why did he kill my mother? I will tear him into 10,000 pieces." At that moment, Yang Jian had already returned to the Zhou camp. He went into Central Command to see Zheng Ziya and explained everything. "First, I used a body double spell to kill his mount in my place. Then I used a curse to kill his mother from a distance. Now Zhang Kui's heart is in chaos. It will not be hard to capture him." Zheng Ziya was very pleased. "This is a great merit." Zhang Kui wanted to avenge his mother at once. He got on his horse with his blade in hand and rode to the front of the Zhou camp to challenge. Next time they face Yuan Hong, what kind of monster will he turn into? How many more unknown creatures is King Zhou of Shang still hiding in his ranks? And as for Wu King Ji Fa, caught between heaven's will, fate, and this storm of killing karma, will he still hold on to that kindness in his heart? The wish to first observe Shang's rule, and not claim the throne too soon. We'll find out in the next episode. This is Bunny. In my own way, I'll follow China's historical timeline to tell you mythic stories and unpack the history and culture behind them. Thanks for listening, please follow the show, and I'll see you next time.